In any list of memorable towns in Provence, Avignon must appear near the top. Partly it is the age of the place, partly the beautiful structures that remain, partly it is enduring mystique of an odd time in Catholic Church history, when the popes vacated Rome and set up their ecclesiastical opulence right here.
In our travel mode, we often ignore famous places in favor of seeking out real people living their real lives where we are guests. Thus, we located and explore the Les Halles on our first morning.
This is one big shared building, bustling with lively chatter and the most curious mix of sights and sounds and smells. Varieties of fish are arranged or heaped on beds of crushed ice, staring back at you in slippery silence, while the mongers banter with anyone within range. Breads of all sizes and persuasions, vegetables, spices, cheeses. Oh, the cheeses, sold with personality and panache.
Baskets of biscotti were calling out to us with sweet words, but their baked voices were lost in the clamor of competing temptations. Everywhere an overload of good things to eat. There is a museum of carved stone items nearby, which is more interesting than you might imagine. It puts you face to face with decorative masks, altars, sarcophagi, wall ornaments, depictions of everyday life during the Roman Empire's decline. There are statues after the Greek manner and after the Etruscan manner, gargoyles. Surprising to see such vibrancy captured in stone.
Beholding these kinds of wall ornaments from nearly 2 millennia ago, and comparing them with the cheesy knickknacks from India or Africa that decorate modern homes, I realized the truth of the principle in physics, that things run down.
Much as I wanted to, I took very few videos inside of restaurants. Thinking about that reluctance, mostly it comes from a wish to fit in among the daily clientele. These people have not somehow become my odd artifacts. They remain fellow travelers. Now looking back, of course, I miss the interest and charm such footage might have brought here to us as we view what I did record.
A block, and many centuries nearer to us, is an exhibition of old photographs which capture life in France during the interwar years. The beach children suggest Mary Cassatt, so joyful, so unsuspecting of lurking evil to the north.
On the way to the park, we passed through whole streets full of vendors. On the one hand, it is craven merchandising, but at the same time, it serves as a nice antidote to the massive and impersonal papal structures looming above. Several hundred yards directly north of the Papal Palace is a rocky outcropping now made into a public park, offering a splendid view of the river and historic buildings beyond. Most of the tree-shaded areas we've enjoyed in the past couple of weeks have been town plazas, more often than not populated by outdoor restaurant tables and visiting citizens. It is a pastime we didn't enjoy enough, perhaps of discomfort with my limited French skills and a fairly justified fear that people will be impatient with us.
If an indoor decoration motif carried out with the finest and most extravagant Italian Renaissance art can ever possibly be regarded as serene and understated, this chapel is the perfect proof. I completely understand how the stone entryway would be worn by centuries of admirers. The bridge at Avignon, simply here as a relic since the 15th century, extending only part way across the torrent. A good thing to focus one's archaeological efforts upon, yes, but also a good thing to go out and dance upon with one's friends, as the children's song instructs. And while we don't wave insanely at cruise boats passing by, as people did for us, we might if we saw one just now. Along the main Old Town Avenue, we join an English tour that will take us through the Papal Palace. On the way is an enjoyable walk through streets we have already become accustomed to.
These panoramic shots give a sense of the scope of the place, and our guide gives life to the otherwise barren walls and individual chambers. Here, for instance, is an entire room whose function was the cooking of food for the nearby dining hall. It did not contain the oven, it was the oven. The odd ceiling you see tapering up from the edges of the whole room toward the skylight, several stories aloft, was the chimney. So, why would you have this indisposed pooch carved right there in the Papal Palace? Or this overfed face? One of the mysteries of the place.
Running alongside the street of the cloth dyers is this still-flowing canal that used to drive dozens of mill wheels, water power for light industry here at the close of the 19th century. Enough of them still lazily turn to increase the neighborhood's charm even more.
Next door, we enjoy our best and most memorable meal in Avignon. Not upscale as one might choose between in Paris, but done with the class and elegance that befits a town like Avignon.